Welcome back to part 5. So, let's talk about fear. Let's talk about fear. And so many experts have written about the feelings of and the actual situation of fear. Because I really believe creating a business, maybe going self-employed, doing what everybody else doesn't do, can bring it all. It brings it all to the surface. And I wish I'd had that realization earlier. And I didn't. And so when it all came to the surface, I was like, maybe I've got this wrong. Maybe I've messed this up. All of these things. And what I now know is that fear will always be there. It's the human condition to keep us safe, to keep us familiar, to keep us essentially on the straight and narrow. And I now know that it will always be there. But what I now do is I spot it much quicker. I know it's coming. I'm like, oh, you're there again. Oh, thank you. And I now have built a relationship with it. So my question around this for you is, what do you need to say to fear? What does fear need to know from you? How can you begin this conversation? How can you make friends with it? And sometimes with fear, I will thank it. Thank you so much for showing up today. I did really need you. And I was really worried about that because I know I'd had bad experience of that thing in the past. But it's all right, fear, because I've done a lot of work around this now. I know that it's going to be okay. As soon as I do that, I feel that expansive energy. I feel that sense of possibility. I don't feel stuck. When I'm fearful, it freezes me up. And what I want to be able to do is to let it go and to work with it and create this kind of flowy state. So, I would love to hear from you about fear and what comes up for you. And finally, the 5-year plan, or whatever the equivalent is. You know how people say, I want to know every eventuality, every future possibility before I make a decision. The thing is, life often doesn't work like that. Even if you book a holiday and you get an itinerary, for example, and you book with a travel company, the number of times where it's like, well, your dad broke his leg on day 4, and so we couldn't go snorkeling in the end. Like, the most bizarre, weird, twisty-turny things happen. And even though it's good to plan, it's good to think about what you want, sometimes life goes in a different direction. And all we have is now. And making decisions now and seeing what happens. So if that's you, if you've been going round and round in circles because you want the whole thing to reveal itself, it's just another form of procrastination or a sense that you don't have to move forward. Instead, I want you to think about, what are the answers that I actually need? How can I put my mind at rest for the time being? For the time being, how can I get to know this? And then once you know that, you can begin to just bum shuffle slightly forward and it will feel great. I hope you've enjoyed this series. If you have, do subscribe, do follow along and share. I would love to have you, and check out my website, lots of resources on there, and we can work together also. I will speak to you soon. Take it easy. Have a lovely day. Bye.